Welcome to Arizona Business Spotlight. Everything you wanted to know about entrepreneurship, innovation, startups. You got that idea? That next $1 million idea? Well, you want to be listening today, because joining us is Tricity Computers and JT Bistro. We're going to be learning about their challenges, their successes, and they're going to be sharing all their little secrets. I want you to get a pen and paper, because there's going to be a lot of phone numbers, a lot of websites, and a lot of information that you're going to want to write down on today's show. Plus, later on in the show, we're going to be learning about the purple cow, how you could be the purple cow in the marketplace. What is that? How do you achieve that? You're going to have to stick around to find out. All right, joining us right now at Arizona Business Spotlight is the president of Tricity Computers. We have Mr. Seales. Hey, Hayden, how are you?
Pretty good.
I heard here in the rural area that everyone goes by the first name basis. So can I call you Hayden?
Of course. My mom gave me that.
So before the show started, that's usually the best part of the interview. And we were discussing and talking about how you got into business, into Tricity Computers, and it was all by serendipity. I love that story.
Well, I've been in the business almost 44 years.
That's a long time. So computers, when did they first come out?
Oh, long before that. But those were the big mainframes in those rooms, if you remember.
Yes.
And I always planned to be an accountant, and like my brothers and everyone else, I was going that route and ended up in computers.
You know, when we were talking about starting Arizona Business Spotlight here at Verde Valley TV, one of the main things that we wanted to hear was the story and the journey, because we know that somebody out there watching right now wants to get into business, or they have a home-based business and they want to know how to grow their business, and social media versus traditional media. So we thought it would be important to have the top businesses in our community on this show. So thank you again for being on, Hayden, and sharing all the valuable information you have. And one of the things that's really on your heart is about telephone and virus scams. Before we get into how to grow your business, tell us a little bit about why that's on your heart these days.
Because even though I mention it to many of my clients, some of them still fall for it. You are going to a website, and you get it comes up, something pops up on the screen telling you you have a virus. There's a voice speaking to you. There's a phone number to call to get it fixed. Right? First thing, there's a phone number to call. If there's a phone number and anything that pops up, it's a scam. Okay?
Wow.
Now, if you're not paying attention, you will call. They'll eventually they might say that Microsoft or whatever, they want you to let them on your machine so they can fix it. Once they get there, that's where the trouble starts. Okay? They'll charge you. If you don't pay, they'll lock your machine down. You know, and I've seen this happen many times, over and over, even though I tell people, if there's a phone number, it's a scam.
It's a scam.
If it happens, just remember one simple rule, whether it's a desktop or a laptop, the power button on the computer, put your finger on it and hold it for 6 seconds. Don't hold it till the screen goes black. Hold it for 6 seconds, even though the screen went out in 2. Keep it on there for 6.
6 seconds.
Then power it back up, and generally, it shouldn't be there.
So tricityonline.net. That's where people can go to schedule an appointment?
No, they can call. I always say, but I'm old school with some things. Call. Leave a message if need be, but call. I mean, the emails, yes, but you know, when I'm busy, I'll reach for the phone faster than I'll check my email.
Right.
So always call.
Always call it.
Yeah.
Thank you for, dedicating 44 years of your life to something that I have. This is all that's left of my computer.
What did you do, shoot it?
I didn't shoot it, but I wanted to throw it in the trash. So that's it. That's all I have left. It's in a box somewhere. So if we have a computer that we may have gotten a virus on it and we think the computer is dead and gone, can we bring it to you?
Of course.
All right.
I generally ask people to bring it. It's better to bring it to me than have me come to you, because what happens is, to clean a machine properly, it takes a while. Depends on the speed of the computer, amongst other things, but it will take some hours. If I have to come to your location, I'm charging by the hour. If it's in the shop, I charge a flat rate, and I don't have to charge by the hour, and it can get done right. I feel pretty guilty if I have to sit there for hours waiting on your machine to try and clean up all of this, and
Right.
I have to be billing you. So I normally ask what the problem is, and I suggest they bring it in.
There you go. We've been hearing in the news, like you're talking about the virus scams and things like that, but you usually say once you hear it in the news, it's too late.
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty often I'll hear something, you see something on the news, and it's this new virus or whatever, and then my wife will turn to me and say, "Isn't that what you were telling me about, about 6-9 months ago?" I said, "Yeah."
And what about some of the phone scams, telephone scams that are going
Well,
on right now?
It's simple. If they call you to tell you about a problem with your computer, it's a scam.
It's a scam.
Most people never think of it. When did you give them your number?
That's true. And many people in this area were 50 plus.
Yes.
I'm speaking about myself here. And we're a little slow with the
So
computers.
am I.
Right. And if somebody calls you, you think, okay, this is official. But
No,
it's not.
It's always a scam.
It's always a scam.
Yes. Not mostly, it always is.
We had a situation here even with our own computers. Thank goodness we have a great IT team. But you'll hear every once in a while they'll say, if you get this email, don't open it.
Yeah, the ransomware stuff. Well, again, one of the other reasons I'm saying that is because right now my brother just had to ship me his computer because last weekend he had the same thing pop up on his screen and he let them on the machine. And he remembered what I said, but a little too late while they were on the machine. And instead of being nice about it and powering the machine off, he told them to get off and they locked his machine.
They locked his machine.
They might have encrypted it also. I haven't gotten it yet, but And I have said this over and over, and still he fell for it. So that's why I feel the need to keep saying it.
Don't fall for it. And we're going to give you this clip so you can Facebook it to your brother on social media. Just to remind. What's your brother's name?
Evans.
Evans, what were you thinking? I know, I would have done the same thing. Okay, we'll be back with more information on how you can protect your computer with Tricity Computers in just a moment. We're back at Arizona Business Spotlight on Verde Valley TV. Welcome. I'm Helen Gibson, your host. Joining me in studio is the president of Tricity Computers, Hayden Seales. Thank you, Hayden, for being on. Mm-hmm. Before the break, we were talking about computers and when we mess them up, like your brother. And I found out at the break that you're the baby of the family.
Well, yeah.
That's why he didn't listen.
Maybe.
I'm the youngest. We kind of play those roles. One of the things we were talking about with the viruses and the scams and how it'll corrupt, and you talked about holding the
power button
for 6 seconds. Now, did you write that down? I told you have a pencil and paper ready because you're going to learn great information on the show. So 6 seconds.
Keep it there for 6 seconds.
And the screen goes black.
Keep it for the 6.
The
screen goes black before that.
Now, is this one Mississippi or is this
Yes.
just 1, 2? Okay, 1 Mississippi,
Make sure,
2 Mississippi.
Yeah, 6 full seconds. It will power off, you power it back up, and generally you could run a scan, whatever, and it shouldn't be there.
Right.
Try clicking to close it, most of the other things, and it installs more stuff there or shutting down. And that's the reason why. Your power button, if you press it for a couple of seconds and you let go, it goes into a shutdown mode. And you get stuff loaded by keeping your finger on it, right? You kick the feet out from under it and it goes down.
See, it's easy for you to say you have 44 years in the computer business.
No, this thing changes all the time.
Does it? That's why we need you. That's why we have your phone number written down and your website. What else can we find at Tricity Computers if we come to visit? What other services do you provide?
Basically, I do all of it. I've been doing it a long time. I do all of it. I have, I spent a lot of time in corporate America and other things like that. So I basically I started with networking and LANs when they first started. So I continue all the way through with it.
Do you rebuild hard drives? You say you rebuild, or just correct?
Oh, no.
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 So, but as far as protecting the computer,
yes.
What is something that we could do that you provide, a service you provide?
Well, generally, if you have problems, if you have a business and you want to utilize, I see people going out and buying software for their business, and they already have something on the computer that does it, and they don't realize it.
Right.
So, just a simple phone call, discussing it, whatever, and they'll be surprised they have what they need.
You bring up a good point, because this is Arizona Business Spotlight, and there's a lot of businesses out there. So business to business
Yeah.
is an important entity. And you're part of several business organizations and a member of the chamber.
Yeah.
So how important is that for small businesses to connect with other businesses?
I think it's absolutely necessary. You get to meet other business owners, they get to know you, because again, referring someone without knowing, then you're wondering, I hope they had a good experience or whatever. Eventually, when you know who you're dealing with and you make a referral, you understand what kind of service they're going to get.
That's right. And you talked about the journey earlier. So tell us a little bit about your process in your occupation in those 44 years with computers. You started in New York?
No, I started in Trinidad.
In Trinidad?
Yeah, then I came to New York.
This is such an international show. Just wait, JT
Yeah.
Bistro's coming up.
I
in
wanted
just a
to
moment.
get my hands on the biggest computers out there and everything, so I moved to New York. And then I couldn't get a job.
Isn't that the way it always is?
I kept being, every time I went for an interview, they asked, do you have any experience in the United States? No, then we can't use you. So I decided, well, if this isn't going to work.
Head out west, young man. Head out west.
No, I stayed for 17 years in New York.
17.
10 on Wall Street. I got into banking first, and what happened is, found out that they spent millions on these mainframes and were using it. They weren't making use of it, even for their branch systems and everything else. So in about a year's time, I converted everything. And
That's a gift
well, it was fun.
that you have.
It was fun. I enjoyed doing it.
You know, you hit on something right there that most people don't pick up on their whole life. What you enjoy, if you do it and you get paid, that's
Yeah.
right. The money follows the passion. But you were gifted with the wisdom and the knowledge on how to work with computers, so you kind of just found your soft spot and then built a business out of that?
Well, I didn't plan to build a business out of it. I always worked for corporate America or whatever, but I did a favor for someone when I moved to California. Well, what happened is I was on Wall Street for 10 years and we moved the data center from New York next door to the exchange to New Jersey. And I pulled off my portion of the move a week early when everyone couldn't make their deadline. So I got offers for the next year or more to move out to California. Companies were trying to get me, and I didn't want to move. I saw the smog, and I was like, no. But I eventually decided to do it and moved out west, and it was pretty good. And while I was there, I met other people, and I did a favor for one of my friends, his friend, which was a lawyer at the time. And I didn't charge him. It was, I just took care of it. And I got a call the next time, and he says to me, well, I need you to help one of my clients, but you have to charge me. So I said, okay. So he took me to the client, and it was one of the Hollywood crowd. I didn't realize it at first, and took care of the stuff for him, and it started from that. I just started getting a whole lot of business. Yes.
And you're part of a referral organization here in Verde Valley as well.
The Business Referrals Club, Verde Valley Business Referrals Club.
And what's a good referral for you? I know you.
Anyone with a computer problem, anyone who wants thinking of expanding or whatever,
A small business.
Small businesses, especially.
Before they start buying all the software that they don't need, they need to contact you. You could save them a lot of money helping
People who are moving
Yes.
into new offices for the wiring design and everything, that they won't have to be ripping stuff or adding stuff all through. Even though everything is wireless, you only have so much bandwidth on the wireless, and if everything is using it, it bottlenecks right there. So you have to do some proper planning when you move. Most people try to do it after they've moved in.
It's all about the pre-planning.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Hayden, for being on Arizona Business Spotlight. We have to have you back because I want to hear more about those celebrities in LA that you worked for. That's for another time.
Yeah, they would kill me.
Okay. All right, the website, once again, that we can reach you at?
It's tricityonline.net.
And your phone?
928-634-2468.
You were genius. Thank you, Hayden.
You're welcome.
All right, more Arizona Business Spotlight in just a moment on Verde Valley TV with our very own JT Bistro up next.